class! Remember, this week we were practicing how to ask and answer questions in the stories that we are reading. So different types of questions that you should be thinking about before you read a story, while you're reading a story, and even sometimes after we read a story are: who are the characters? Where are the characters? What are the characters doing? And I want you to think about, when are they doing this and why are they doing this? So these are all the different types of questions we want to think about as readers. And then we can use the words and the pictures in the story to help us answer those questions. So in this Flipgrid post, I want you to think about a question that you have about the story, about a part in the story, and also then answer a friend's question that they have. So I'm going to read you a part of the story. Remember, we've read the polar bear's son, we've read the empty pot. So right now I'm going to focus on the story, the empty pot. And remember, we had our different parts of the story. We had our characters Ping and the Emperor. And the Emperor is trying to choose a successor who's going to take over after him. And so he loves flowers. He loves flowers. And so does Ping and the rest of the kingdom. So we want to make sure that we think about those type of questions. We look at the picture, what's happening in the story. The Emperor decides to have a competition on who can grow a flower, or who does their best growing their flower. So all the different children are competing to see if they can grow the best flower. And he gives a seed to all the children, and Ping, one of our main characters, tries his very best to grow a flower. And in a year's time, that's when the competition would be finished. They have to bring their flower, their seed. And a year goes by and Ping can't grow his flower. He's tried everything. And when we get to the very end, we see, that Ping has an empty pot. But we find out that the Emperor actually cooked all the seeds, and so none of the children should have had flowers. But the child who tried their best and who was honest was chosen, and that was Ping. And so even though Ping was ashamed that he didn't have a flower, he tried his best and he was honest, and so he was chosen to be the Emperor. So we read the story, we've discussed it, we've gone through it. So that's why we want to study it. We want to think about those type of questions. So I'm going to read you a couple of pages from the story, and I want you to pick a question about this part of the story. So I'm going to read you this part of the story, and I want you to think about, in your Flipgrid video, a question you can ask using those question words. So starting from page 12. When Ping received his seed from the Emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled a flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. He watered it every day. He could not wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. So now I want you to ask a question about this part of the story, so those pages that I read. And then I want you to comment on a classmate's video, trying your best to answer the question using the evidence from the story. So evidence, look at the pictures, look at the words. How did you know? Explain your reasoning to answering that question. I can't wait to see your Flipgrids. Best of luck, friends.